The Trump administration now demanding the return of billions in taxpayer funds that they say were wasted by Biden's Environmental Protection Agency.
And the Trump team has no plans on stopping there. They're also ending the war on, oh my gosh, they're after my heart, appliances.
Here to discuss is EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. Great to see you, Administrator Zeldin. So we're all in agreement here. You got 3 solid votes here for going after stopping the war on household appliances. How are we going to do this? How is this going to make our appliances better for us?
So President Trump posted earlier this week that he wanted us at EPA, at the Department of Energy, to be able to work together to reverse what was a coordinated effort during the Biden administration to get rules enacted and new standards out that would end up limiting choice and increasing cost. At EPA, we have something called the Water Sense program, where there are standards that are placed on faucets, for example. And what's important for us is to overhaul this as quickly as we possibly can, to apply common sense and to ensure that American consumers aren't getting burned by what's coming out of government. Over at the Department of Energy, the new Secretary, Chris Wright, is working to look at all sorts of different rules that need to be overhauled there, implemented during the Biden administration, that come down on a mandatory front, and they come down even harder than what are the water sense standards from EPA.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy. We bought a house, and it had old dishwashers that we wanted to just keep them, but we had one of them went bad, so we had to buy new dishwashers. I want my money back from these dishwashers that don't work from the Biden era. It's just so, maybe you guys can look into that. Like, do we get our money back? Speaking of money, Secretary, there was a video that came out, an undercover video from Veritas that talked about Biden era officials during the transition period, basically saying, it's like we're throwing gold bars off the Titanic. They were trying to get rid of all this money and put it into NGOs and wherever else they could get it before you guys took power. You say you found the gold bars. Why don't you break that down for our viewers? Because I find this fascinating. I think it's $20 billion worth of it.
Rachel, that video was shocking a couple of months ago. And at that time, I was going through my meetings with members of the United States Senate who saw the video as well. And they were asking me to commit, if confirmed, will this be a top priority to chase down as soon as I get into office? Absolutely. It was something that was reiterated during my confirmation hearing itself, not just in those meetings. So when I was confirmed, came into office, we started working diligently and we located these gold bars. I would just point out that with regards to that video a couple of months ago, they were not only talking about throwing gold bars off of the Titanic, they were also talking about giving out these billions of dollars before Inauguration Day with an eye towards getting jobs at the recipient NGOs. Yes. So, right. $20 billion rushed to get parked at this particular bank, given out to 8 entities. Now, I don't know if you ever heard of the Climate United Fund that received $7 billion, or the Justice Climate Fund that received almost $1 billion, or how about the Coalition for Green Capital that received $5 billion. We're not talking about chump change here. We're talking about billions of your tax dollars. We at the EPA and inside the Trump administration have zero tolerance for waste and abuse. We're coming down hard on this.
Will charges be filed against people who did things that were wrong with our money?
This is absolutely something that it started off saying we're going to have to work closely with the Inspector General's office, and it quickly became we're going to have to work closely with the Justice Department. Good. We need to get answers to a lot of questions that I have, that you would have, that the audience has, that President Trump would have. I want to know at these NGOs how many of them were set up just before billions of dollars arrive. How many recent Biden employees or EPA employees left their position to go work at these places that are receiving billions or millions of dollars. We just canceled a grant, 9 grants yesterday to save another approximately $60 million working closely with DOJ. We're seeing millions of dollars being spent on subscriptions to media outlets. And one last point I just want to give as far as some of these other media outlets that are out there trying to spin this and cover for, close ranks for this practice. The Washington Post did a story about the $20 billion gold bars that we found, and they were saying in the first paragraph that I was saying without evidence that the money was rushed outside of government. And then 7 paragraphs down, they cite the video that Rachel just spoke about, talking about how they rushed to get the money out of government before Inauguration Day.
Secretary, really quick, because we only have a second, and I'll let Lisa do this, but yes or no, can you subpoena that man in the video? Or the DOJ?
I would love to. That's going to be something I'm going to have to work with the Justice Department.
Right.
Well, I was going to ask you, obviously, the EPA is going to play a big role in this golden age for America. You know, how do you see that? What do you plan to do in being a part of that?
So we announced our Powering Our Great American Comeback initiative, 5 pillars, and number 1 is about our core mission, ensuring, as President Trump wants, demands, clean air, land, and water for all Americans. That is a great goal that we're going to help him achieve. But President Trump, he was in touch with the American public, and they spoke loud and clear across America on November 5th. They want us in touch with economic impacts. So that means we need to unleash energy dominance. We need to pursue permitting reform, make America the AI capital of the world, and bring back American auto jobs. All 5 of these pillars are part of our initiative. We're all in to get it done.
All right.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Secretary. Great
Zeldin,
stuff.
Thank you so much.
Great 3 weeks for you.
Busy.
Yeah, for sure.